We're going to start here, guys. Jay, get Nico in here. Sit down with him. Midland's home inspection, Gina. Got what kind of spread we got out there? Lobster tails, champagne.
Wow, they spoiled you guys rotten with individual sandwiches.
Guys, yeah, get out there, get some sandwiches, and tell them thank you. So I know, see, this is a real estate office. I can guarantee there'll be another 40, 50 people in the next 10 minutes. Real estate time is not 9. 9 is, we should start this. We should say that we're starting at 8:45, Gene, I think, moving forward. That way we could get started by like 9:05, right? Hey, guys, show of hands. Who went to convention? Good chunk of you. Good. Probably because I'm having panels here today, right? That you guys, well, we had to show up for sales meeting because we got 8 people on a panel. So we're going to get this rolling, but we're going to kick it off with, I'm really, really hoping a couple more people trickle in before we do this, but we're going to start it off with our video is going to be the Sunshine Kids video that was filmed at the luncheon of that the Sunshine Kids had for their top fundraisers. And so you all know this is near and dear to our heart. And then after we're done with this, we're going to announce about we are going to go back and we're going to have our event. Because when we sat there and we looked at how much money everyone raised, we're like, why are we not doing this? We need to get back engaged in this. So Julie, would you hit a light? Amy, will you hit a light? Scott? Perfect. Roll, Maggie. Rewind real quick. Tasha, Todd, you hear us back there? Do you hear it?
So as Jennifer was saying, my name is Brianna. I'm a 16-year-old cancer survivor, and I was diagnosed at the age of 12 with osteosarcoma, which is a form of bone cancer. And the doctor told me, hey, you have bone cancer. I said, cool, when's lunch? It's a lot to take in at once, and I think it took a while for it to truly set in, but when it did, I felt so alone. I had the support of my family, my friends, but nobody could truly understand what I was going through. Heck, I didn't even know what I was going through. It was a long process, and Sunshine Kids gave me the space and the community to learn and grow as a person and have fun and meet people experiencing the same hardships that I was. I'm not alone anymore. And I thank them for that. I was almost done with my treatment when I've gotten invited to the New York staycation trip. So as an actress, as a young female actress, losing your hair and watching it fall out is, as a girl, even teenage girl, it's very devastating. So when I was very depressed, even though you have your family with you, you still have that moment where it's very lonely. The word cancer itself is very a devastating thing to hear. So when I went to the New York staycation trip, my first trip, it was just last October, we went to see Broadway shows, and what better other place to be, especially after the pandemic, Broadway came back. It was definitely very awesome to see the first performances. And as an actress, you can relate to those actors who want dying to just be on stage. So my spirit was just ignited again, and I was so happy. I'm like, this is what I love, and this is what I'm meant to do. So it was definitely God's plan, just all over. It was a sign, and Sunshine Kids definitely, I would have probably changed careers probably without them. When I got diagnosed, I was like, so what am I going to do? I've got to find something else, because with this diagnosis, I cannot do it. So I'm entirely grateful to Sunshine Kids for showing me that I can do it. And I'm really grateful for it. I'm also grateful to all of you who are supporting this amazing. for me, it's a little. Diana got diagnosed back in 2018. We lived in Naples, Florida, but we used to live in New York. And I got diagnosed about 6 months after we moved to Naples. So I was like, oh my God, what is this? It's fine, but we're not supposed to move. I was like, I'm going back to New York. I was like, back to Virginia. We were there for 9 months. I have other 2 boys, left them back home with my husband, and I just took my daughter, packed it up, and went to Sloan. Back there, you see there, you see her, so beautiful. She's carrying needles. She's frightened by them. There was no way to get dog work. There was no way to do anything on Rihanna that would reach her. So that was the biggest fight we had. So they get the diagnosis, yeah, she has osteosarcoma. It's the fastest moving cancer. We have to move it quickly as we can. Like myself in New York with Rihanna, with all these doctors talking to me, and I had no idea what they were saying. All I kept asking, is she gonna live? Is she gonna survive? They never said yes or no. I got reached out by one of the Sunshine Kids member in MSK, and they're like, oh, there's a trip that they want to a national trip going to New Orleans, and we would like Nana to go. I'm like, heck no. She just got diagnosed. We don't even have sleepovers. She's never been out of my house, and anyway, so it was a long road for us to get Rihanna to actually get a treatment. It was given told to me, you have to let her go because this can actually help her. They have social workers, they have case workers, psych therapy, social, everything, because Rihanna was not going into treatment. She said, no, I don't want to get pulled all the time. She didn't like the way the portal was going. It was just horrible. Finally, I agreed to let Rihanna go into the trip. I was losing my mind. Then I was so happy, so much having fun. I never heard from him. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go get my daughter. Where's my daughter? Finally, I get a call from her saying she's okay. She's having fun. And Rihanna connected with all the kids that were also battling cancer, and she met a girl that had the same cancer that Rihanna had, ended up losing the leg. Rihanna comes back, she's like, I had an amazing time. I want treatment. I want to do this. So they had her on pills, they had her on everything, they trying to get Rihanna on a way that they can give her treatment. So she wouldn't have treatment. So everything stopped because Sunshine Kids, they didn't have to give her those pills anymore to get her to go on treatment because she came back with a mentality, I want to do this. And if it means for me to lose my leg, I'm going to be okay. I met wonderful girls and wonderful guys that did have the same thing I had. I can do this. I want to do this. So Sunshine Kids, thank you for saving my beautiful life. Just because us as a family, we need Sunshine Kids. It's saving my daughter. Besides the doctor, besides the medication, she needed that here. She needed to be okay, for the treatment to work, for her to eat, to be able to stand for treatment. You guys gave her that. Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody that's went to these, and it was really, those are with me. I see you crying here. It was emotional. And that mother's convinced without Sunshine Kids, she would have lost her daughter. I would say 8 of the 10 kids that I've listened to over all the years, they get up there and speak. The number one thing they say is, we're so lonely. They always say, we have the love and support of our family and our friends, but almost without exception, their message is always the same. they don't understand what I'm going through. But when I go on this trip, it allows me to connect with other people who are going through the exact same thing. And it's so cool to listen to these kids and their parents and the gratitude that they have for what Sunshine Kids brings into their life. And so we started doing the event every 2 years, probably 8, 9 years ago. And our last planned big event was 2020. We obviously didn't do that because of COVID. And then we didn't do it again in 2021. So it's been 4 years since we did our last big event. And I think the last time we had it here was in the parking lot it was, I guess, really the same month we just announced we were doing the CBS home merger. So we are going to do, we sat there, and after sitting through that lunch, and we're like, we can't just do the flip house. We can't just do the golf event. There's no reason for us not to raise $400,000 for these kids. We'd like to make the goal 500,000, but we're not sure how giving you guys are. Deb's already said, I don't have to buy that parking spot again, do I, for $5,000? I'm like, no, we're just gonna ask you for a $10,000 donation. But those of you who have been around for many years have seen and met so many of these kids, and you see the effect that it's had on their lives. As I've always said, nobody deserves to get cancer. And honestly, we're all going to be touched by someone in our lives close to us that's had cancer, right? If you live long enough, it's just impossible. It's just too widespread. But kids being cheated out of their childhood, the time when they're supposed to be, you know, a kid having fun, playing, doing things, to give them this ability to connect with others and go and laugh and forget their world. It's priceless to them and to their families. So we are going to do the event. Help me, somebody. What's the date? Thursday, September 8th. We're going to have the event here in the parking lot again. Last time we had about 2,500 people attend. We're expecting we would have that much or more because, again, like I said, we've added 400 agents since the last time we had the event. We had, I think, 550 agents then. We got 950 agents today. So those of you not attended, it's a really cool, fun event. It's outside. We'll have a band, but it's all for the purpose of raising money for kids. So we are going to have Tasha, and Megan has been thrown on her. I told her last night she only has to raise $100,000, and she's like, okay, we can do it. I'm like, not we, you. Are going to be on the fundraising committee. So and this is a crazy thing. You guys are great salespeople, right? Some of you are the best of the best I've ever seen for salespeople, but you're not good at going out and asking for money, even for charity. So if fundraising is something that you can do and you can help us with that, you know, we'd love to have you on that committee. I know Ashley, I said in a meeting yesterday, where's Ashley at? Ashley's always a little late. She's always a little late, but she'll be here. She'll show up when we need her. Is doing the fun, the food and the tent committee. And so we already had a meeting yesterday and we got that ball rolling. So if you've got some great connections there that can help us, because we try to get all of the food and drinks and everything donated, because we want to give, we don't want to give, we give 100% of the proceeds. If we say we raise $400,000, it's not like 100,000 is going back with most of these charity events to pay for the event center and to pay for all of for the food and for all these type of things that are typically paid for in these type of things. So when we say we're going to raise that, we're going to give that money, 100% of that directly to the kids. And then we tell them that they keep kids in Omaha involved. And the hospitals in Omaha is Children's and the Med Center. And they just told us they're going to be reaching out, I think sometime over the next month, to take kids from both hospitals on trips somewhere soon, because they have started taking trips again. So that's very cool. So Mamie, is Mamie around here? Mamie is running the auction part of this for us. And so if you've got the ability to get some silent auction or oral auction things, please reach out to Mamie. And I think we're having meetings for a couple of those committees even today. So maybe reach out to Gina or I, if you're interested in being one of those committees. We'd love to have you. But otherwise, we're going to be reaching out to you to hit you up to give a little money and to help promote this and invite people to this event. So anyone on the committee? I guess Ashley and Mamie's gone. So Tasha, Megan, anything that you guys want to add or say? Nope. Okay. All right, guys. This is going to be a great event. We're hoping one of the Sunshine Kids, that lady, she sings that she's on Broadway. She's now off Broadway, but she's now doing that stuff. We're hoping to get her in for the event. J.K. Simmons, is that his name? Is very closely tied to the Sunshine Kids. He's been nominated for a couple Academy Awards. He was up one here just the other night. We're hoping to get him in here. They're checking with his schedule to see if he's got a conflict or not. But it's going to be a great, crazy, cool event, guys. So please put that on your calendar again, Thursday, September 7th, 8th here. So you're going to start seeing a lot of things in the lobbies where we're putting up Sunshine Kids stars and stuff like that as we continue to move forward. So guys, I appreciate your support and helping this. You guys have always been huge fans. And how much money was raised for number one last year? 342,000 or something like that. Is that right? So we'll blow that away. We've already raised Fred. I saw Fred in here. Man, we raised $70-some thousand for this, 74,000 already for the flip house. So that was great. You, Julie, Rusty, Drew, and all you. Thank you for that. And then Josh is still going to do. We're trying to get a date on the golf tournament, and I don't know if that got confirmed or not, but he was working on that last week. So we're going to be doing a lot of things this year, guys. But you know, I've always believed that those of us that have been blessed, and we really are fortunate, right, do have an obligation to give back to others who are less fortunate, going through difficult times in their life, and doing that without expecting really anything in return. We're doing it because we want to make the world a better place to live. So I appreciate your support on that. Maggie, I'm gonna let you run here a couple minutes, and then we've got two panels for top takeaways for convention. And they're gonna have a lot of great stuff to share with you to help you guys grow your business and hopefully inspire you.
Morning. So I'm going to talk in least exciting to maybe most, because Vince said he wanted me to talk about fishing, right?
Well, big fish or small fish?
They're getting pretty big. Okay, so just really quick, fishing, if you look at it and go, I didn't expect that. I know I have a listing and I got 60 offers yesterday, and I don't know if ABCDEFG is a real person. Just delete it. So like this morning, we had .loop phishing emails go out. I got calls from several agents first thing this morning. It goes to you. It's a fake name, but it wants you to verify your email address. When you do that, you're giving them your username or password. You've also given them the keys to every single one of the client's information in .loop. So when you think about .loop, just be very, very careful. We do have two-step authentication on your email to try to protect you. And then the last thing, they've got the international travel. So if you're traveling, and I could rattle off a whole bunch of countries that.
This is Berkshire Hathaway has shut off a lot of countries' websites.
Correct. We
Yes.
basically shut off every country but Mexico and Canada, and some European countries. I'm not saying that Mexico is safe. I'm saying that 50,000 agents were traveling in Mexico over spring break when we turned it off. And it was a lot for a help desk. So
the way to get our agent count up is have spring break.
So if you're traveling to Mexico in the future, it could be blocked. Now, if you tell us, we can unblock that so that you can access your email. There are some countries that are we just can't. And I can get into that once I see them come across. They're few and far between, but we can unblock your email for that time. So just keep that in mind. You're traveling internationally, you want to work on vacation, let me know, let IT know so that we can keep that.
I want to add to that. One is Berkshire Hathaway about 3 weeks ago now, one of the home services companies had this happen to them. They lost $2.5 million. So this is real. This has been taken to a, you've probably seen it if you watch the news at all, it's taken to another level. The Russians are, this is their war on Europe and us, is they're attacking phishing and hacking, and that's how they're trying to get money. So the number of phishing and hacking attempts, which we thought was serious before, it is at a completely another level now. And so please, please, please be careful. Don't open QR codes. This is phone and computers, right?
Yeah.
Attachments, links.
When
If
it
you don't,
asks-
if you're not,
yeah.
if you don't know 100% who that is coming from.
And when it's asking for a username and password, and we all use the same password on every account, now you have to go change, Megan's laughing. Now you have to go change that on your bank, on your credit cards, on all those other accounts, and it makes it kind of tough. So I mean, just yes, please, please, please be careful. And then if you have a question about anything, don't hesitate to reach out. IT tries to get back to you right away. We do have an isolated computer that we can open attachment on if we're questioning it. So we can do some of those things too. So, okay, that's phishing. Be careful. Okay, so at convention, I attended the marketing directors meeting, which is always like that first morning. One of the things they talked about was the Berkshire Hathaway halo effect. So this is a 2-minute video. It is available today in Resource Center. What this talks about is the power of the Berkshire Hathaway Home Services name and how that basically trickles down. So what you want a consumer to think of when they think real estate is Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, then obviously your name, but the BHHS. This goes into how far our reach goes. And then we have a graphic with how far or how little competitors' reach goes. So Gina, can you hit play? And you might have to, we're having some audio. It's been a month since we've had a sales meeting. Can you crank up I'll do it. You're fine. Sorry. The little knobs on the right. Keep going.
Our company, trust. One of the things I'm most proud of when it comes to Berkshire Hathaway Home Services is how we represent the core values of our company. Trust, integrity, longevity, and stability are the anchors this company is built on and what we're known for. That recognition has a lot to do with our association with Berkshire Hathaway and the guiding principles of Warren Buffett.
Berkshire Hathaway is built to be forever. In terms of permanence, we've got an organization that can't be matched by anyone. And I would want to be associated with somebody that had that sort of long-term future assured, where the financial strength was unquestioned, where the name stood for integrity. What quality that you would want this Berkshire Hathaway Home Services not have, and I don't think you can find one.
Having the Berkshire Hathaway name attached to home services gives us a distinct competitive advantage. But don't just take my word for it. According to Meltwater, a media monitoring service that tracks share of voice, which measures news coverage within the real estate industry for each company, the unmatched combination of Berkshire Hathaway Inc., Warren Buffett, plus the Berkshire Hathaway Home Services name drives more than 71% of the real estate industry's global news coverage. The exposure that's created by this prestigious trio is what we call the halo effect. And it means that your Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Network real estate agent has access to the most powerful media tools in the real estate industry to promote your real estate needs. In an industry long seen as transactional, our network is leaning into the Berkshire Hathaway spirit of longevity and integrity to help clients realize the lasting value of homeownership. That is the driving force behind our forever brand ideology.
You will gain from the strengths of those around you. To me, it's an obvious choice. Who else in the real estate brokerage business has resources of a company that has almost $200 billion of net worth? Get on a train that's going 80 miles an hour. Don't get on one that's stuck on a sideline.
Okay, so so both these videos are going to be available in the Resource Center under Marketing Resource. So that's the first one, just a little bit about the power of the brand. There's a supporting graphic that goes with it. We'll email this all out today. And then the next one is just the next iteration of the media campaign. So BHHS, the franchise, they develop these 30, 15, and 6-second ads that every agent has access to. So you can send them to clients, you can post them on social media. It's all branded as you. And that again is all in the BHHS Resource Center. So Gina.
What would tomorrow look like if you sold your house today? Maybe spend some time on the course. All the time. Or maybe be too busy doing nothing at all. When you're ready for what's next, we'll help you get there. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services.
So that's one. There's horse properties, there's ski properties, there's lots of different types of houses in the marketing resource that you can go in, grab a similar commercial, and use that out on social media. So
Are you showing the pet one?
yeah, Gina, that's next. There's no commercial yet. Let me turn the lights back on. Okay, so middle of April, we are kicking off a
We don't have the video from convention on that?
They
Okay.
didn't post- they won't post it yet. Home sweepstakes. So what this is you, your clients, you can submit for your own custom dog house, cat house, I guess, I don't know. It's a replica of your home. So, and they're giving away, I think, 6 of these. The winners, it's a big media campaign. The winners they're gonna do features of these pets and the properties, and they're building 6 replica homes. So they're just randomly gonna draw. So this is being released middle of April. So they didn't put it out yet because they don't want us talking about it yet. So it's early.
Okay.
But it's the Pawfect Dream Home Sweepstakes. It's for your dog, maybe a cat, ferret, I don't know. But it's any animal. Ours would be a dog. So that's kind of cool and that's fun. We'll show the video at the next sales meeting. This is launching before the next sales meeting. So we'll get that out. You guys should share that on social media. Let's get a lot of entries because it is a lot of fun and everybody loves pets.
New website.
We have a new, yes. So if that's not enough.
That's fine. Whatever your agenda is, ask me and I'll tell you.
Yep. Well, so we have a new website coming. It's never a good idea to launch something new on April 1st, which is April Fool's Day. So we're going to launch it on Thursday of this week is the plan. So what we've done is if you have an existing site, we have scraped the data from your website, which is your bio. If you had a $5 a month site, we've grabbed all of that information. If you're a complicated $5 a month site, we grab that information, saved it on the server, and we'll reach out to you. So we've grabbed as much info as we can. This new site, Gina, do you want to click on that one on Island Circle? Perfect. So larger photos. Now, this is a demo site, so it's a little slow. So larger photos, huge contact information, schedule a showing. Every agent gets a full site at no charge.
Right.
So that's going to be like shannonlisi.bhhsamb.com or maggiewiegert.bhhsamb.com. So everybody will get a full site. It's not just a profile page. You can build out as many pages in that site as you want. You can totally customize that site. There's hundreds of different custom designs. It's very easy to do. Marketing can help you with it. And then if you want to take that one step further, you can work with our website providers design services. That one's at a fee, but they will do a total custom site as part of just the overall site. So, you know, if you're somebody out there that's got their own website, but you're never updating it, that might be something to look at. This is going to be, we get monthly updates on this platform. So whether it's kind of behind the scenes to make things come up higher in search engines, or whether they're completely redesigning what the website experience looks like, those updates will be coming pretty regular and refreshing the site quite a bit. Mike has a question.
Do they have it for a team too, or just, and is there help importing all of your?
Right now, the team is $3,000 a month, right? The individuals are free.
Agents are, no.
It's all free.
Yeah, so there's a team site, there's individual agent sites, there's office level sites, there's lots of different options. So yes, the answer is yes. With this, the intranet is changing. One of the cool things on this intranet, and don't worry, there's gonna be training. You log in, you can it's called single sign-on. So you can single sign on to Resource Center, you can single sign on to Dotloop, you can single sign on to Boost, you can sign on to AdWorks. So it will automatically just log you into those places from your dashboard.
So for clarity on the team site, right? Individuals that were paying $5 is free, and then teams were paying $5. So both of those are all free on our things. You format the team site, I'm assuming differently, you format the agent, but that's all, we built all that into our costs that we're paying these guys.
Yep, exactly. And the team, every team functions a little different. So how we set that up is a little bit different for every group. So it's going to be a lot of one-on-one calls in the next couple months to get everything kind of how you want it, but there's options there. Trevor?
What company is it? Who hosts it?
Yep. So Trevor asked who the company is. It is Reliance Network. They are with several other home services companies. It's kind of the platform that we want to go to. If it looks familiar, if you were at CBS Home, this is the provider that we we used and worked with at CBS Home. So it's a good, stable company, and they listen to us when we want changes. There's a group of us that meet with them monthly to suggest, hey, this is what we think we can do better. And they implement those. So
And
it's a
that
good
was,
group.
Jay, you would know, because you were involved in the beginning when we did Boston Logic. Boston Logic sounded like a great deal because they made a lot of promises. Getting them to implement the promises was a little different story. So having a little bit more control over the vendor we're working with was an important part of this decision-making process.
So we're excited about this. It's a tech change. So I'll tell you, it's going to go easy, but we know the truth on some of those things is there's always bumps in the road, but I don't really anticipate much. They've done this a lot. So we'll migrate probably Wednesday night into Thursday morning. The old site will go down and this one will go up. And then we'll start kicking things off with a lot of training. So very excited about this one.
What goes down must go up, or what goes up must go
Yep,
down.
exactly.
Okay.
And the last thing I have, and I think it's the most exciting for Vince, the dome signs do not
Yes.
have to be Cabernet anymore. They can be black and white. The first agent we offered the option, they kept Cabernet, but the next agent took the black. So we've got the sign
Who's
order
excited
forms.
that you do black and white versus Cabernet?
So the sign
Wow.
order forms are changing, so you'll
Who
have the
doesn't give a
option.
shit?
And then the other thing on the luxury is you can choose platinum instead of just black. So luxury added platinum. They're still working on the platinum color and print. Shocked, that's a little tough. And then the regular signs can be Cabernet and black. That's it. That's the, oh, and
Yep.
they retired cream. Cream is gonna retire.
Okay.
So
Guys, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, I'm going to start. We're going to get our first panel up here. I'm going to roll down this list. Amy, Rich, Sheila, and Sherry. Can I have the four of you pop up here and start getting ready? Then we're going to have a second panel. As they're coming up here, one last thing I want to announce here, guys, is the CARE Fund. The CARE Fund, hopefully you guys believe, continues to reach out to people and do great things. The emotional response we get from people that we're trying to help has been overwhelming. But we made a couple changes. We figured it was a good thing to, I think we announced this in the sales meeting at the end of last year. We want to rotate people on and off. We've added Corky Grimes, Gray. It's not Ellsbury anymore. What is it? Betty. Okay. And Mary Tomey are all going to be coming on the CARE Fund. Stepping down was Trish Thompson and Mike Pettit. So if you see any of those people on the committee, and we'll start getting some letters out of who all the committee members are, please reach out to us. But if you know, more importantly, anybody that's going through something that could use the help of the CARE Fund, right? That's had an accident or has been in hospital stays or been deadly sick, something that's keeping them away from generating revenue and has a major expense to them, please reach out to us to see if we can help them. We do have to sign, when we set this up, our attorney said it was very important for us to sign confidentiality agreements, not to discuss, you know, who you're giving money to exactly, or the amount you're giving, or what's going on in those situations, because a lot of these people want to keep it private. And I would tell you, as many of the requests come, if not more, from not the person that is is sick or is going through something, but it's from one of you. So please reach out to us and tell us. Carrie's kind of our liaison for this. Reach out to us and tell us if you know somebody's going through something where we can help them. Okay, that is the entire purposes. And those of you that this is new to, is we take $5 out of everyone's transaction, but the company matches that. And so I said, you know, it was hard when we started this for someone to look at me when basically the company is matching that. And at that time, I think the agents were giving about $40,000 and the company was giving $40,000 because that was basically primary to me at that point in time. And I didn't give Jay a choice in his share. So we really believe in this. And it kind of was born out of the Sunshine Kids and the Open Door mission. We're like, we're helping other people in the community, but we have people internally within our own organization that we need to figure out how can we help them also. So we've received a positive response about this, but we really want to spread the word and get more people engaged in this process and help more people. So that's the purpose of what we're here for. So the CARE Fund, you have any ideas or people that reach out to Carrie, and we'll be happy to chat about those. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys, are we ready?
Yes.
We gonna inspire? All right. So for who's first time convention? All right, we're gonna start down there. Amy, we're gonna start with you, and then we're gonna walk down here. So what was your favorite panels, and what was your overall just kind of impression of your first convention?
My overall impression was,
Those guys really drink a lot?
yeah. I only made it to the one day of the breakouts because I actually got food poisoning and I was in the hotel the first day. So the events in the evening were great, Churchill Downs and then the Lenny Kravitz concert. And I would say just meeting people from other parts of the country, asking them how they're building their team or not, or whatever they're doing. And then I already actually have a referral from the girl from Columbus that I'm working with, somebody here in Omaha that she couldn't help. So we've connected and have reached out to each other and done that. So
Perfect. What was one or two of your favorite sessions that you attended, and what was a couple takeaways from that?
So I had heard a lot about the Ninja Selling book over the last, several years here. Had never read it, but I went to Larry Kindle, who's the author, and he was excellent. So I ordered it. It was at my house by the time I got home, and I'm about halfway done.
So what's a couple things that you're taking out of Ninja Selling then, or his class?
Well, the class that I went to, he talked about categorizing your team, whether they're an A or I think it was an A, a B, a C, or a D. And so it's interesting to analyze the people that are on your team and kind of see where they're at and where they could be or where there could never be. But I would say I liked his. Sorry. I liked his energy. I liked his message. The routine part, I mean, I'm kind of a routine person, but some days are, like everybody else's are all over the board. So gonna implement some kind of a morning routine off of his suggestions.
Because he's about building relationships, right? And doing things on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Sheila, first convention, kind of
Yes.
just initial quick takeaway, and then what was your favorite session?
It was crazy. It was exciting. I think one of the most important things was just getting to meet other agents in our office, especially I'm an individual agent, so I don't really deal with a lot of the teams. And so getting to meet some of them and going, oh yeah, I see your name all over, right? Like it was kind of cool. My favorite person was Jimmy.
Jimmy Burrows out of
yep.
Florida.
Yep. I feel like I related to him the most. And I think when you go to the conventions or any of the classes, I feel like depending on where you're at in your life or your career, that's what you take away. And so from him, his was all about gratitude. And he talked about how he writes thank you notes. He writes thank you notes to his family because his thing was you don't know how long someone's going to be around. So that was probably my favorite. And I think I told you 3 times, try to bring him to Omaha.
Yeah. Well, he's coming for Explosion.
Yes.
So we will get him recorded and that will get out to everybody. So we're excited about that.
Cool.
Is there a couple other things you would like to talk about on Jimmy's that really stood out to you, or things that you're going to try to implement into your business?
I'm a person on quotes. And so one of his quotes that he said was, have passion about life and business. And I feel like the theme throughout too was you're going to get out what you put in. And I feel like he was very big on that. So, yeah.
And that's probably more important now than ever, right? I mean, in these times right now, I mean, if you're not spending some time, energy, and effort, you're not going to probably yield proper results. And I would say that it's more important today than I've ever seen in any time in my business. Mr. Rich, you're a veteran. So I'm not going to ask you what you thought.
You know
but-
what? Third convention, and for anyone that does not know, it's in Vegas next year. So good, bad, or indifferent. If we've got gambling issues, probably don't go. But it's a lot of fun. It's an opportunity to network with agents that otherwise you wouldn't get to. Got to see, knew it, like Larry was, I think, brand new in the business and was there. And probably the coolest part of going to convention is realizing that how well respected our brokerage is in the network. And people can't figure out how we do what we do.
Nor can we.
Yeah, well, yeah, especially like guys like me. So, so if you can, whether you're on a team or not, make it a commitment to go. And the first night that Vince does, it's just kind of like a get together and get to know different people, and some other people from other brokerages show up and we get a chance to meet them too. But it's just getting to know people on a different level in a different environment.
Yeah.
And
To that point, because I got in trouble, we were sitting around and everyone's sitting at their own tables. I'm like, you got to get up and you got to meet other people. And I said, I want you to go meet Deb Seisig before she retires at the end of the year. Deb comes marching up about 15 minutes later. Everyone's coming up to me asking, am I really retiring? I'm like, no, you're not retiring. I said, they know you're joking. No, they do not know you're joking. So Deb is not retiring. And she's going to continue to be competitive. But that is, I think, one of the coolest things is, right? We have all these people in this organization. And so we always do that Sunday evening, a get together for cocktails and appetizers. And that's really the purpose, is to get together and even meet other people, not just in other companies, but even within our organization, because so many of us are doing deals, but we don't get to meet each other. So I think that allows us to build and become a stronger organization because of that. So top session that you like, and what did you take out of that?
Actually, the general sessions, I did get food poisoning too, by the way, but I know,
Yeah.
just
Food
don't
poisoning.
bring your, yeah. Shh. All right.
A lot
Anyway,
of food poisoning always happens at conventions.
I
It's like,
know.
don't get it.
whatever. Busted. All right.
I got the flu.
All right. Exactly. So the general sessions, they have the Gino and different people get up and speak, and then they have a keynote speaker, and Jade Simmons, Google her. She's awesome. She's a kind of a rebel pianist. She has her theme, if you will, is the Maverick mindset, and just looking at change and adversity as an opportunity to evolve. And in our market, the last couple of years, I think we've had to do a lot of shifting and evolving, and new agents, old agents, senior citizen agents. We all have, like myself, we all have to change. So, but got a lot out of that. The one thing, she focused on was, we all talk about staging our clients' homes and everything, but she focused on staging ourselves and our business and the way we do things for our clients. So maybe more focused on staging ourselves and our knowledge and our mindset versus always telling somebody else what to do. Maybe we need to focus more on ourselves and staging that. The one impactful thing that she said that stuck with me was, your purpose is not the thing you do, it's the impact you have when you do what you do on others. Do what you do on others. I don't think that was the right one. Hold on. Let me, maybe that was a different session. Okay, hold on. 2 shows nightly. Okay. Your purpose is not the thing you do, it's the thing that happens in others when you do what you do. So in other words, that
A lot of dues.
Yeah, a lot of dues. The impact we have on others when we do it, when you're in a listing appointment or an open house, when that aha moment, you nailed it. When you made an impact, or you earned that value or had enough value to earn their business. So that was, that meant a lot. Alan Dalton, he's always entertaining, the forever agent, and the pledge. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go to Sherry, and then I'm gonna come back,
Yeah.
because everyone's gonna have
Yeah.
a
talk
second
too
go
much.
around
Go.
this. No, you don't talk too much. Overall view of what you guys have been there, what, a dozen times?
15,
A lot of times, I know that.
15.
So you keep going back because of why?
The networking, I feel like, when we get to talk to people there and then you do a transaction with them, it just is more personable and you just work better together, I think, when you know somebody personally. And meeting other agents from across the country and just the knowledge we pick up there.
Perfect. Because I don't want to run out of time. Dive into your favorite session and what were some takeaways that you can implement.
Well, Maggie
Yep.
Cook was another general session presenter. And this gal came from Central Mexico. an orphanage. Her dad was a minister and a physician, and they were very poor. Mother was housewife. She had 6 or 7 siblings. And then they also adopted any kids that were abandoned. So really, they had like 65 kids in their home. And sometimes there wasn't anything to eat, and she even brought her knife along. She goes, I got it on the plane, off the plane. She showed it. She said, I used to have to go and find food to eat. So her mindset was on, you can do anything that you set your mind to. And she would sit and meditate and in the hills and think how her life could change. So she ended up making the salsa. I think it was, her mother's salsa, but she got to be an award-winning salsa person. And I found it unique. She goes, you have to believe in yourself. If it's not this, then it's that. So what are your options? Think outside the box. I loved her example of, she bought a truck, an old truck, to haul her salsa in. And she's real short. Well, she couldn't reach the pedals and the truck wasn't working well. So when the truck stopped, she needed somehow to be able to reach the brake and the gas. So she found a block of wood that she wrapped on her foot. And so then she could reach the pedals. Now that's creative thinking, right? So that's what she was telling us to do. And now she's a millionaire and she's giving back. She's going to Mexico and, food, clothes, making, orphanages and just helping all she can there. So just again, really the power of mindset that you can, no is never forever. She had no's along the way, but she didn't let that stop her. And finally that turned to a yes.
Perfect. So let's, and we'll expand upon those 2 speakers later, because I think there's even more to be said, but breakout sessions. What was a breakout session you liked? What was it about? And what was some takeaways from that?
Well, I really like Alan Dalton too. Can I?
Yeah. And because they can't hear you unless the speaker's up there. Sorry.
Alan Dalton, Forever Agent, that was really good. It just really brought back in focus that we should use that more. He has, it's in the resource center too. It's the Forever Agent planning guide that you can offer your clients. And that's a good way of keeping in touch with them and helping plan their real estate future. And we did a pledge, which was that we are going to work as forever agents. And he just said, doing a pledge is a commitment. You're a little more serious about it. And he said, you shouldn't call your past clients, because then you're their past agent. So I thought that was really good. And another thing I liked him, or what he said was, how people put on their back of your cards, or you'll say, I really appreciate your referrals, type of thing. But instead say, forever agents say, my clients deserve the very best. So it's just a change in thinking that you're going to stay with these clients from beginning through the last house they buy or sell. So staying in touch.
Rich.
Oh, golly. You know what? Actually, another one was Terry Watson. Crazy dude. We all talk about social media and putting our stuff out there, letting people know about us. He kind of spun it a different way. Use social media to get to know your clients better. And instead of giving them a mug with your name on it, give them a Yeti with their team name on it, or their football team on it, or their kid's name on it, or their dog's name on it. But give them something that means something to them and it's personal, that they'll hold on to forever, instead of something that has your name plastered all over it. So be impactful and separate yourself from the rest. And then let's see, Berkshire Hathaway is who we are, and home services is what we do. Kind of a tagline with that forever agent concept. So
Perfect.
So one of mine was the afternoon classes. It was there was an individual agent and 2 teams. And one was Andrew, Megan, and I think Molly. And Andrew was more like, just be accountable. He goes, I don't need to hold accountability groups. He's like, we're all adults, do your job, you know what you have to do. And he's like, and again, I'm all about quotes. He's like, don't try to beat someone, set your goal and beat your own goal. So that kind of stuff with me, because you see everybody that like Megan, you know, and you're like, oh, I want to be what Megan is doing, but yeah, you have to beat your own goal. So.
Why would you want to be that
I
short?
sleep in
Not that much taller than her.
Short people come in big packages, right? And boom,
And
knocking
I
them
was-
out.
I was
Dynamite.
Also gonna say, like, it was kind of cool when someone said, oh yeah, there's Vince. And I'm like, oh, he's ours, right? Like he's ours. And so that was kind of cool. You feel like you kind of stood a little bit taller, I guess. So, yeah.
Yeah, standing tall. Talk to us.
Most of my takeaways I wrote down were from our breakout sessions of whatever chairman's thing you won. These are new to me. They might not be new to everybody, but VideoCast has now replaced Videolicious. And it can be located in the Resource Center under Marketing and Social Boost. And you can upload any videos that you create. It doesn't have to be on the app that we used to use on our phone for Videolicious. The other book besides Ninja Selling is Atomic Habits that I'm going to try and order and read. The other thing was a new thing out called, it's an app. I looked it up on the computer. I haven't done an app on my phone yet, but it's called Revaluate. And it is similar to HomeSnap, and it has algorithms to analyze who is most likely getting ready to sell. So it's called Revaluate. And then one other thing was on the resource site under Buyer Match, there's a program called BuySide, and you can use the valuations feature for your clients. So I'm going to try some of those.
Guys, and we're short on time, so I'm going to give them a big hand and then get our next 4 panelists up here if I could. Jay Brown, Mike, Grace, Jessica. And guys, I'm going to ask you, please hang loose for an extra 10 minutes here. Don't be darting out with me if you can. I apologize, but I know these guys are going to inspire you here, so don't leave us. Don't leave us. Jessica and Grace, Mike, first convention for you too, right? First for all 3 of you. First for all 3 of you. So Jay, you're going to be going last, okay? All right. Ladies first, which one of you would like to start? What was kind of your overall take of the convention as your first convention?
I walked away, my word in my head was gratitude. You don't realize how lucky you are to be smack dab in the middle of the country and have some of the best people around you. Knowing, like Sheila was kind of saying, if you said, where are you from? Omaha. Oh, Vince. And that was the name that everyone knew. And it's
They're
kind of
going to
cool.
rename the city after me.
Yeah. Omaha, Vince, same thing. But it really does make you feel so grateful to be a part of an organization that truly wants the best for you. I walked away knowing I can call any single person that I met there, whether I knew them before, whether I just met them there, and they'd be happy to sit down with me and help me out. So that, and especially being a new agent, that's huge. So I was very appreciative for all of that.
Top session. What did you like? And then Jess, I got you next. Okay.
So Andrew was the person that I really feel like I reflected with the most.
Andrew Undum, he's from Baltimore.
Yes, exactly.
He'll be at Explosion, so we'll have videos of him also.
Yeah, he was fabulous to learn from. He just had a wealth of knowledge along with all the other agents there. But one thing that reflected with what my goals are this year is I set a pretty high goal for myself. I want to get it and I'm on the way there. But it's pretty intimidating to look at from a year aspect. 365 days is a long time. You get to the second half of the year and you're like, oh, I can still make it. It's fine. I'm behind, but I can make it happen. If you've got a big way to go, that's not going to happen. So he said, you have to break it down by quarter. Look at your Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and put percentages with that. So let's say your goal is 10 million. His team would do 20% that first quarter, 30% of that goal, second and third quarter, and that final 20% the fourth quarter. When you break it down like that, and we're coming up on the end of the first quarter and you look at that, you can evaluate, oh gosh, I really got to kick it in gear, or hey, I should take myself out to dinner. I'm doing well. So it really does put you in the mindset of break it down, don't make it intimidating, and just get it done. So that reflected really well with me. I definitely implemented that the second I got home. And then another thing, I think it was the teachers at Molly.
Molly, yes.
Yes, so she's a former teacher and she's big on time management. So she said, if it's something you can get done in 2 minutes, just get it done. I know we have those phone calls that come in and we're like, "I really don't want to answer it." If you can get it done in 2 minutes, just pick up the phone, get it done with. Don't add it to your to-do list, because the second you add it to your to-do list, you're making a huge weight on your shoulders that you have to get to later. And then she added to that as well. If you can't get it done in the 2 minutes, text them with that text thing on your, like if you end the phone call, just text them and say, "Hey, I'm in the middle of something right now. I'd be happy to get back to you today at 4 o'clock. Then add that to your schedule for 10 minutes because that's how long it's going to take. It's better to not let it weigh on you if you can just get it done quick. So.
Good stuff. Jessica.
I will echo what lots of other people said. I think that that first night of getting to know so many of you that came, being a newer agent myself, it's so difficult to there's too many of us. And so it's so difficult to get to know everyone. And so it was really good to connect and just feel like, I don't know, we could get to know each other and put a face to a name. It was funny. We would walk up to somebody and be like, "I think I know you, but I don't know you at all." So that was good. And my biggest, so I loved Jade Simmons. She was the first general session speaker. Really resonated with her. One of the things that she said, a quote that she said, is sometimes the breakthrough comes right after the breakdown, something like that. And for me, that was, it just hit me so hard, because that's kind of my story with my real estate career. Is I got laid off from a career I was doing for 12 years in the middle of COVID. And I was like, what the heck am I going to do? And I had my real estate license for about 6 months. So, and now I've really found my calling and my passion in life. So that was very resonating. And then as far as the session that spoke to me the most, I think his name is Ty Bennett, has a book about storytelling. And that is something that I just think is such an underrated art and skill that we need to learn as agents, not just from a perspective of, it was natural for me to kind of grasp on a part of that because I'm so active on social media. But we tell a story every single time we show a house. So we're talking those clients through, okay, but imagine you could do this with that area, or you could do this, or I know it doesn't work quite well, but what if you made that change? Or imagine your kids growing up in the yard. We're telling them a story. We're helping to tell their story with that house. And so I just have a whole list of notes from him about.
You want to go through a couple of those? Because stories, guys, remember, stories people remember more than statistics, right?
He was saying don't take all of his points because that was his same session. One of the biggest things that he really spoke to was providing value in your storytelling, connecting, engaging, bringing emotion. It also, when you tell a story, it loosens people up, right? How often do we have a situation that we've gone through with a client before, and we can take that and tell that story to another client and make them go, "Oh, I'm not the only one that's experienced this," or "I'm not the only one that's been nervous about this." So those were kind of some of the things he talked on. What else? You can touch base on more of them.
All right.
You probably have good points too.
Thank you. Mr. Mike.
Yes, it was a first convention, loved it. Breakout, the keynote speakers were amazing. Breakout sessions that stand out was Giselle. I just call her Party. I can't say her last name. She's a video marketing person. Couple great ideas that she had. She's saying that TikTok's going to shape the next 10 years. I know a lot of people aren't using TikTok because they think their clients aren't using TikTok, but what do you have to lose if they're not? You're not embarrassing yourself. It's a whole nother platform.
And TikTok's being used different than dancing, and right?
Yes. Another thing is get used to doing video. So she had us record something while she was talking. I quit recording halfway, so I had to make my own. But then I set a alarm twice a week to just watch that little 1-minute video of myself, saying that you're going to make it, because getting used to seeing yourself, you start getting more comfortable in front of the camera too. And then 5 types of videos to make. So to prioritize the 5 types of videos are questions. Make sure your videos are one-on-one. Tours, stories, which we just talked about stories. And then also the vertical form video, make it more personal.
Videos, the amount of conversation around social media, doing it different with TikTok, and TikTok is a place for investing, for talk about real estate. But videos was just crazy amount of the time, I think, of the number of sessions that came out there where people were coming back saying they were talking video. And we've been talking about for 10 years, but if you're not doing it now, you're behind. So get rolling on it.
Can I add one thing to that?
You sure
too?
can.
So something that, and actually Travis and I discussed this, and I still need to text you. But a lot of times when you're video recording yourself, you're like, oh, I look so ugly and there's my double chin and I sound horrible and all the things,
Always
right?
film up high. Film up Brooke.
Well,
where's
but
Brooke?
so,
Brooke's like, Vince, I don't want them to see that double chin. I'm going to go
but
high.
here's the thing is like, when you can have an aha moment of, guess what? That's what you look like. And that's what you sound like. So like, it's okay.
Go to
because-
bed, cry a little bit, get up and
But
get
like,
over it.
but really, because that's what your people see when you talk to them in person. So it's okay if that's just, it is what it is. So be okay with it. And there's a little bit of freedom in going, oh yeah, okay, I just look like that.
God, why'd you do this to me? Jay.
All right. I went to Ty Bennett too. And his kind of claim, I don't think he was real estate, but he had founded a company that was by his mid-20s that was doing 20 million in revenue. And so his was all the power of influence was the name of it. He said a influential story goes from struggle to solution. And we're here to help people. So like we're problem solvers. And he says, no story goes without a bad guy. He talked about when he likes to tell stories to his kids. And one time he was busy. And he says like, the princess, did this and it was done and everybody was happy. And his little guy was like, no, that's not a story because you didn't have a bad guy. You didn't have a struggle. So even like the Smurfs, they have Gargamel. There's always some kind of villain or struggle that you have to talk about. So he talks about that you need to have dialogue. You have to have impact or humor. Give your clients a voice when you tell a story. So like he said, maybe you talk to somebody and say, hey, I talked to a friend yesterday and, they have cancer. That's just telling something. Or you can add a voice and say, I got a call yesterday from a friend. I picked up the phone. You could tell something wasn't right. With a trembling voice, my friend told me they just got a test results and they have cancer. And they asked me what they're going to do. So he's just like, you have to add more timelines, locations, make it more dynamic, things like that. And then you have to add metaphors, become a bridge. But I guess the one big thing that I like is because a lot of people always say, you want to add value, but like, how do you tell that story of value? So I thought this was really good that he had was, so the example he goes is how do you tell your story without bragging? He says, you got to get clear on what value you want to bring to the table. You can't tear down your competition. And then how you do it is where did the value come from and give them credit. So like a financial planner wanted to be known for credibility. So he asked them, well, how did you get your credibility? So he told a story of how he went to a camp when he was as a teenager and it was taught by Navy SEALs and they had to work as team members to help. So he couldn't let his team down. And so he just told this dynamic story of that camp and what the Navy SEALs did to him or for him to teach him how to have credibility. So and that's how he told the story to bring that value to person without bragging about it. And just, again, how did that value come about or give that credit to somebody else? And then it's not coming over as bragging. But
Yeah.
I thought that was a great way to do that.
Do we all agree by show of hands? We need to become better storytellers because by being better storytellers, we're going to communicate better. We're going to write. We're going to show more value, and we're going to probably be more connected to the people we're dealing with. On listing presentations, we're telling stories all the time, right? When we're trying to maybe get price reductions or something price rate, we're telling stories of, well, these people did this, and this was the outcome, and these people did that. So good stuff. Let's head back down that aisle. And I know, guys, I appreciate you hanging loose here. So I'm hoping you're getting stuff out here. So give me another 7 minutes. Jessica, let's keep rolling back, and then Grace. You got another takeaway from another session you like?
Well, the one that Grace was talking about too, with the 3 different agents, Molly, I think Slagle.
Molly's from,
how
Houston.
you
She'll
pronounce
be
her
here.
last
We'll
name?
have a video of her also.
So she's a solo agent. And one of the things that I really grabbed onto is that she describes herself to her clients as an artisan agent. And I loved that because it feels very boutique. It feels very local. It feels very personal. And so if you're someone who is a solo agent, that just might be something to look into to see, how can you sell yourself better that way. And I loved the time management skills that she was talking about just, if it's going to take you 2 minutes, just do it and get it over with.
Anything else that sticks in your mind? Final thought?
No.
All right.
One final thought actually from Molly as well. Kind of going off that storytelling on a limb there. We run into people all the time, clients, future prospects, whatever that looks like at the grocery store, at a baseball game. You have a conversation with them, go in your phone in their contact afterwards, scroll down to the notes, type in the date that you saw them, and write down the one thing that you took away that was new that you learned about them. Right. Then if you know you're going to go, maybe give them a valuation on their home, maybe go on a showing, bring that up. It really does mean the world to them to know that you're listening to what they're saying. And it just makes them trust you a little bit more because they truly know that you have their best interest at heart.
Great.
I don't know if Lenny Kravitz counts, but whatever he was doing on stage inspired my wife. So
We're all inspired in different ways, Mike.
no, I still go back to Maggie Cook, stood out the most to me. Just quick, her theme is be bigger than yourself. Like, just always be bigger than yourself. Visualize something bigger. She flipped her list, like instead of going.
So
to
I
the
wanted,
small-
I wanted to not leave without. So can I allow you? Maggie was 5'2" on the. Yes. Can you do it as condensed as you can? But tell the story about her dad and the email he sent to her, and storing it. She's not a millionaire. She sold it for lots of millions.
Yeah. So basically,
This is a great story, guys.
She borrowed $800 to enter this salsa contest, not dancing, but food salsa contest. Started to try to sell it to some of the local places, not getting much traction, and she made a list of like all the way to like Walmart, Whole Foods. She flipped the list, called Whole Foods. She was nervous, left a message. They called her back and they wanted her to come sample food. So she needed like 10 tons, like 60,000 tomatoes. I think she had to
Well,
cut.
she went down, they said, come down, show us what you have. They loved it. She had never made over 300 pounds. It was her and a friend cutting tomatoes herself. They ordered 10,000 pounds.
She, like I said, the truck story is already there. She found a way to get there, and then they ended up buying it. So she went from making from like $12,000 to $1 million a year. She sold the company for 235 or 239 million to Campbell Soup.
Yes.
So,
That's a lot of money.
But even then, like there's a point where she was homeless, and she said she didn't realize that she was homeless because that's the way she was her whole life. And so that kind of is another reason, like, be bigger than yourself. Sometimes you have to be uncomfortable in the situation you're in. Otherwise, you don't realize that you're stuck in the same spot.
The last thing I want to say on that, which I really think is very, very important for each one of us to understand, is her father she went to her father when she was earlier in her life and said that she was gay. And he's like, you're not going to be successful. You're not going to amount to anything. She was on the 5'2" on the Mexican national team, and she broke a collarbone, and her caretaker says, give up basketball. You're not going to be able to make it. And then she ends up getting a scholarship in South Carolina somewhere, and becomes homeless again. But while she was still making this salsa company, had not sold it yet, her dad and her had always had a negative relationship. And then a month before her father passed away, and she still at that time had limiting beliefs in herself, is her dad wrote an email and says, you know what? I'm so proud of you. You can accomplish anything, right? Chase your dreams, and nothing's impossible. And I think the moral of the story is a couple. One is we need to be cognizant of those that are important to us in our lives and make sure that we're encouraging them, right? That we're that positive influence, that we're telling them that anything is possible, and we're helping them to chase their dreams. And her moral is, right, have unlimited beliefs at the end of the day. But those that are closest to us, what we say has a lasting impact on them, and it can put limits on their ability to do something because they believe you. So be there to be a source to inspire and encourage, because we want the best for the people we love, right? But sometimes we don't realize how impactful what we're saying to them has. And so I thought that was very powerful. And that was a month before her father passed away. Jay, a last thought?
It was funny. Jade Simmons called out Vince. That was pretty funny. Said if somebody can be themselves, because hers was always about being themselves.
Be a unique individual.
Yeah. So she called out Vince for coming up and getting an award and ripped jeans and a funky shirt. So, but that was fun. And then the one thing I thought was kind of cool, it was Matthew Ferrara, the Ford from the Ninja Selling, the Family Occupation, Recreation and Dreams. So he talked about taking that and actually making baseball cards and making sure you get your 25 key statistics about them. So continuing, like, whenever you find another piece of information, but just be strategic about that, keep on adding that to them and really dive deep in the relationships and really have a good solid 150 deep relationship with your clients, and that'll help build your business there. So,
Guys, we had 107 people at convention. I'd like to see us get 140 to 150 at convention next year. It's going to be at Caesars. It's a new building at Caesars Convention Center, not Caesars Forum, which is a hotel there without a casino, which.
It's the convention center.
Yeah. So love to have you there, guys. Let's give these guys a big hand if we could. Our last thing, go ahead, sit down if you guys want. Is Dick here to give the good guy away? Dick, get up here.
I told him forget it, we'll do it next time, but he's here, he's ready.
Gina, I gotta get back to Saul. January 15th of 2001, this agent called me and said, "Hey, Dick, one of your clients came in to my new construction open house, and they bought a house." And I said, "Oh, rats!" And then he said he put my name on it, which is really cool.
Yes.
So anyway, when I get it back from Saul's, Steve Larson is going to get the good guy award.
Yes, yes. And so, and I don't know if we have that yet, but unfortunately, Mike Radnoff, hopefully most of you know, Mike's been here for many years. You'd always see him usually in a common cubes, common space on the computer stuff, did pass away on Thursday or Friday of cancer. He was just going into hospice that day. So I'm hoping that sometime today, we're still going to get details on the wake and the funeral, and we will be getting that out to you guys as soon as we hear that. So please keep his family and your thoughts. Joe O'Donnell was crazy close to him, and I know Joe is trying to get us some information on that. So again, you know, it's tough when you see that stuff, and it's another situation. 5 years he fought that, and I mean, he really was a tough SOB. I'll tell you what. And you know, he was in the office, I think, a day or two. I saw him a couple of days before he passed away. So he was not giving up. He was a fighter. So keep his family in your thoughts and prayers, guys. Let's keep rolling. Sunshine Kids, we're going to hit you guys. But most importantly, know we're here to help you guys grow your business. Reach out to us if we can help you in any way. Take care.